muted. Hey everyone, I am muted. I am now unmuted, and so I'm really excited to be with you here today on another Monday for the Other Side podcast. My name is Janelle Villiers, and I am your host for the Other Side podcast, where I am all about talking about the different areas, spaces, and places that we all go through on our journey for sustained mental health. And I only laugh because sustained mental health, I feel like we go up and down into there are periods where we're probably just not doing so well, and then other periods where we're doing fantastically well. And it's okay to be going in the valleys and in the mountaintops of the journey. I think it's just important to know where you are and then when to reach out for help when you're in the valley, so that way you can get back up to some of the mountaintops of the places where you're doing really well, right? So today I'm really excited. Thanks, Adam. Today I'm really excited because we're going to be talking about what if you could be doing better than you think, right? What could you in fact be doing better than you think? I think so many times we focus on like the things that are going bad. Maybe it's good to just think about some of the things that we do really well, things that are actually going in our favor, places where we've seen growth even, right? Like maybe we are actually on the mountain and things are going well so far, and that's okay. It's okay to be there, and sometimes it's you don't always need to be looking for things to be going wrong. So I figured today would be a good day to talk about that exactly. So I have 6 things to look out for that could suggest that you're doing better than you think. So number 1, you've distanced yourself from places and people that don't really help you grow. You've figured out who those people are, you have an awareness around it, and you've just limited your time that you either spend with them or in those places that really just don't help you grow. You just feel like people are constantly nagging, they're picking on you. It just feels like they never see anything good about you, instead of like highlighting the things that are good about you, instead of highlighting, wow, you've grown so much, or hey, here's something that I learned. Did you know about this? Let's talk about this, right? If people aren't having those kinds of conversations with you, you've recognized it and you've decided to actually limit your time with them. Great job for you. Sometimes you don't need an army of friends or a football team of friends. And I mean the European version of football, not the American version. But sometimes you don't need a basketball team of friends. Sometimes just having a handful, like the ones that you can count on one hand that are really close to you, that's enough, because those are your true, let's say, ride or die friends, the ones that will be there for you when things aren't even going well. And they'll be there to help you and to remind you and get you back up to the place where things can be better, right? So good for you for recognizing that. Number 2, you've decided to look at your past experiences as lessons and things that you can learn from, instead of sticking in the past or staying in the past and just wallowing in it and, oh, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, right? You've come to a place where you're like, wow, that was really awful. I did the best that I could with the information that I had. And here's what I've learned from that experience. Man, huge claps for you, because that is not easy for everyone. So I really feel like that takes you to a whole other place when you're able to recognize that. So if you are one of those people out there and you're no longer looking at the past that's like holding you back as this thing that you're just wallowing in, but more like experiences that have taught you something that you can learn from them moving forward in your future, congratulations to you. That's actually a big one. I think a lot of people are stuck in their past and stuck in the woulda, coulda, shouldas, and then they end up shooting all over themselves and going nowhere, right? They're locked in that. So that's a big one. Number 3, if you have come to a place where you realize that you actually allow what people say or do to you or around you to offend you. Like, you allow it. And if you don't allow it, the offense just stays where it is. It never really actually comes to you. This is a little bit deeper, right? So I think it's maybe another way to say this is like, it's a recognition that people are going to say whatever they're saying. Like, you have no control over what people say and or do. And quite frankly, it may have nothing to do with you. And so it's not necessarily an offense to you. It's not that they're trying to do something bad to you or do harm to you. They're just trying to do whatever they can or they think is best for them. And this is probably the hardest with family members, right? But just recognize, like, they're just trying to do the best they can, and it's not an offense to you. And so it just becomes like this thing that they said or this thing that they do or did, but you realize, like, you're not attached to that. There's nothing to do with you. And maybe it seems like to them they're trying to, but in reality, that's not really what's going on. I think it takes a while for this to be something ingrained, probably a lot of years of experience, or maybe you were brought up in a family that taught you that that's the way to think. But I don't think most people think this way. But I can give you an example, right? Like, I know that when I started my first business, it was in a network marketing company, and I had a lot of people around me who were like, yeah, you shouldn't do that thing, like, it's wrong, it's bad, it's a scam, it's like all these things. And at first I was really hurt. I was like, these people know I went to an Ivy League school. They know how educated. They know I wouldn't do anything to, like, that's stupid or a scam. Why would they say that to me? And I felt really offended. And it took me a long time, longer than I wanted to, let's say that. But I finally got to a place where I realized anytime anyone said something like that to me, that's because that's just where they were. It actually had nothing to do with me. It was like they were almost saying that. They almost needed to say that in order to protect themselves, so that way they could give themselves a reason for not getting involved. Because to me, it seemed so obvious that it was such a good thing. Why wouldn't you want to do what I was doing? Like, it was amazing, right? So it's really, really interesting. And I think sometimes people, especially even close family members, they think that they're saying something or they're doing something to protect you. Like, they want to protect you from something bad that could happen. But the truth of the matter is, again, everything is a lesson, and an experience is just there to teach you things. And so who are they to hold you back from trying this new thing? And maybe it's like the best thing in the world for you, right? And so once I realized, wow, they're just saying this for themselves. They just need to feel like they're saying the right thing, maybe even keep giving themselves reasons to not move forward in their lives and try something new in their lives, then it was no longer an offense to me. I'll even say the same thing with writing my book. Those of you who've come on this show before, you know that I'm an author of a book called I Slept with a Married Man. Am I Still a Good Person? I just happened to have put it away for a moment. I need to bring it back. Otherwise, I'd pop it up on the screen. But it is definitely in the description below. So if you want to get it, you can get it that way. But I say all that to say the title is intentionally provocative. And there were many people who were like, you should change the title. That should not be the title. It'll ruin you professionally. You shouldn't do it. And at first I had a lot of self-doubt, but then I got to a place, and this was a lot of help with God, to be honest, where I was like, you know what? No, God put this calling on me to write this book with this title. And if you, person who's telling me not to do it, don't understand that, that's okay. Because it's not meant for you to understand. It was meant for me to understand and for me to just follow the calling. And so I get it. You're freaking out. You're scared. Thanks for the concern. I get it. But it's not meant for you to be concerned or to worry. And so I no longer took offense to what was being said for that reason. I like didn't allow it. I recognized if I would have allowed it to bother me, then it would have bothered me. But I just knew that it wasn't for me to be bothered. I hope this is helping somebody out there. To me, this has meant a lot to me as we've gone through, but it wasn't easy, and it took a long time. So I also don't want to make it seem like, oh, if you're not doing this, like something's wrong with you. Not that at all. But it definitely shows a place of growth. It definitely shows a place of where you're able to kind of put boundaries in your own head, right? For your own mental health, stability, and wellness. So give yourself grace if you're like, ooh, I'm still working on this one, or this one, I still struggle with this one. And let me just tell you, I'm giving you guys some examples, but there are some other places where like I struggle with this. So sometimes it depends on the scenario, right? And the situation, or maybe even the people. Okay, number 4. You understand that what you're capable of doing or the reality that you're able to create all has to do with you. And so essentially you have everything you need in order to create this world that you want to be in. Or, and this is many things. This is business, this is the profession that you're in, this is your even your state of mind and well-being, the relationships, the romantic relationships that you're looking to be in. You have everything within you to make the changes that you need to make in order to get whatever it is that's on the other side of the I wish I had XYZ, right? You have it actually within you. When you stop looking for things outside of you, like, oh, if only, my family would support me. If only, I had my spouse to support me. If only, the sky was always blue and it never rained. If only I had $1 million in my bank account, only then can I do this thing? Only then can I like surpass the challenge. Only then, right? Like if you're always looking to something else, something outside of you in order to make it the right place and space and time for you to go ahead and try and pursue whatever is your dream or your calling, you're going to be waiting a long time because it's never really going to be perfect. You already have what you need. It's in you already. The dream came to you, the goal came to you, the aspiration came to you because it's yours to make real. And so you have it within you to do that. Do you have to learn some things? Sure. Do you have to get better at a couple of skills? Sure. I'm not saying that you don't have to learn or grow. I'm just saying you have it within you to do that. So you don't have to wait for somebody to give you permission. You don't have to wait for all the stars to align. You have it within you. And when you recognize that, that is certainly a place of growth. So I hope that's helpful for someone. Let me just check Instagram. Hey, Son of Jerusalem. I see Gypsy Royal came on and Williams Coisin joined for a moment. Hi, everyone on Instagram. I'm going back to YouTube and Facebook now. So if this is helpful for you, please let me know in the comments as we go through. We're only at number 4, so let's go to number 5. We're talking about the 6 things, the 6 signs or indications that you could actually be doing better than you thought. Number 5 is you take risks without fearing the outcome because you know that trying is success in itself. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I am more of a risk taker than probably most of the people around me. And so anyone who's risk averse, this probably bristles you a little bit. Like, what do you mean? Right? Like, why even try if you're not going to succeed? No, I can't do it because then people will see me as a failure because I'll see myself as a failure. It's not the outcome. It's literally the chance that you're even willing to risk it at all. That is a success in itself. Honestly, nothing really wonderful comes inside of your comfort zone. So you're going to have to risk going outside of your comfort zone to do anything really amazing, right? And so if you're struggling with this, I would say just giving it a try. Don't focus on the outcome. That's not the point of taking the risk. It's just the fact that you tried. It's just the fact that you leapt. It's just the fact that you gave it a go. Most people won't even do that. So it doesn't matter if you succeed or if you fail. The fact that you even tried is such a big deal. I don't even know if I can really hammer that home enough. As I know for me, I'm even talking life into me right now because I just took a leap of faith. I recently resigned from my 9 to 5 and no regrets. Please understand, no regrets. But I also understand it's a risk, right? I didn't go from one 9 to 5 to another 9 to 5. I went out to start my own business. And so I'm so thrilled that I did that. And I know 100% if I would have stayed in that little comfort zone, it's more like sticking around with the devil, rather than trying something I don't know. And who knows, I could meet the angel, right? But I'd rather stick around with the devil I know because at least I know it because there's comfort there, right? People do this all the time and then live these quiet lives of desperation because they'd rather stay with the devil that they know because they know it rather than try something new, even if it could be the angel, it could be the heaven on earth. But it's so scary because they don't know it. They won't even try. And so please understand that it's not the outcome. It doesn't matter if you succeed or fail. It's just the fact that you try. And if you have that kind of mindset when you go into something that's outside of your comfort zone, that seems like a risk, believe me, things will change, because most people won't even take the leap. Or they won't even try. They literally won't even try. So good for you, for those of you who've gotten to that place. Anybody else out there have you done that? Have you ever done anything risky or seemed like a risk at the time, and you were like, man, maybe it didn't even work out, but you're so glad that you tried? If that is you, please put a Y in the comments and let me know that I'm not alone. And if you are still in this place where you're like, but Janelle, like, I really like, but I know the place here, I know it, like, it's comfortable here, and you feel like you're still like struggling in that place, that's okay too. But the first thing you got to do is be aware of it. So go ahead and put a C in the comments and let me know that you're still struggling to get out of the comfort zone. We're here to talk about these things and support these things. Adam sent me 3 Ys. I love it. And I got Son of Jerusalem also putting a Y on Instagram. So thank you guys. This means that it's resonating. I'm really helpful. I'm really glad about that. Okay, and the last, number 6, is life has dealt you some hard blows, but you've actually overcome them. Just think of all the challenges that you've had in your life. Some of the things that made you cry, the things that made you literally get down on your knees and beg God to help you, like in tears, like there's got to be something more, right? Like, this can't be it. God, please help me. Like, I know I've been there, so this is just me talking, but it's like, God, please help me. Like, I know that there are probably 100 million people out there who've got bigger problems than me, but right now this is my problem. And if you could, even if you're too busy, if you could just send an angel to come and help me, because you're busy helping all the other people, I will take it, because I don't know what to do. Like, if you've ever been in that place and you realize, holy crap, I'm on the other side of that now. I'm on the other side of all of that, right? Like, man, that is a big deal. You have overcome, my friend. And remember that. That is something to be proud of. That is something to carry with you. It means that God's not done with you yet. It means that there's so much more that you can do. And perhaps your story of overcoming and your story of the challenge that you face is actually the story that somebody else is going to need to hear. So that way you can help them overcome their challenge and what's going on in their life. Man, I'm super inspired. Right after this, I'm doing a free masterclass. If you're not already attending it, I think the description is also below, but please register if you haven't. It's in my stories if you're on Instagram, but it's how to earn a lucrative income by becoming a best-selling author from scratch. And I just feel like writing your story in a book is one of the best ways for you to take the challenge, this thing that you overcame, and like share it in the world, so that way somebody else can learn from it. And you don't have to do like I did and make it a memoir. You can write a book of fiction, right? And base it on your life and some of the things that you've gone through. But it's how humans, how we learn, right? Humans learn by storytelling. It's what we've done since the dawn of time. I mean, look at Jesus. He was telling parables in order to like explain things to people, right? So like, it's definitely something that is a part of our nature, is to tell our stories, and it can help other people. I am completely 1,000% a believer in that. And I will always be the cheerleader to cheer you on to be the author of a book that helps impact people. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 6. As we wrap up here, if you're just coming on, or if you're watching the recording and you're somewhere in the middle and you're like, wait, what are we talking about? We're talking about, could there be some signs that you're actually doing better than you think in terms of your mental health, right? In terms of your personal growth. So here's some 6 signs that you could actually be doing better. Number 1, you've distanced yourself from people and places that you know don't help you grow. Number 2, you've decided to look at your past as experiences that you can learn from. Number 3, you understand that if you allow what someone does or says to offend you, you have allowed it. Whereas it's also your ability to not allow it and to let it stay where it is, and the offense stays with the other person. Number 4, you understand that your reality is all up to you. Everything that you need to do to create your reality is in you already. You have the ability to learn, to grow, to develop. You can do it. It's within you. Number 5, you take risks without fearing the result, because you know just taking the risk at all, just trying at all is the success right there. And number 6, life has dealt you some really, really tough blows. But guess what? You've come on to the other side of it. So if these 6, if you've experienced any one of, if there's one that you are like epiphany, like you're like, whoa, I'm just realizing I've been going through that recently. Let me know if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Let me know which one really resonated with you. If you thought this was really helpful, don't forget to share it with people. Let other people know, because this could be something that could help someone else and really impact their mental health journey. We're trying to do this together as a community. And so I appreciate all of you who showed up to watch it live. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Sons of Jerusalem. I really appreciate you both for coming on live. If you're watching the replay, I thank you for watching the replay. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. I will see you next week. Have a great night.